So yeah, COVID hit. The exhibition at South Hill Park was one of three. So I was supposed to have another two exhibitions that were due to be shown at the end of March and then April 2020. Obviously, they were cancelled. They were postponed for another year, and actually they did end up being online in the end. At the time, we tried to make an online version of them, but they were just effectively web pages where people could click on, look at an image and read some work. There was no interaction whatsoever. I think I put one of the questions up there to try to get people to participate, but people just weren't participating. I didn't have a single response to any of the questions that I posted, and that concerned me because I thought, okay, I'm not having exhibitions in the physical world. My work is very much interactive and participatory. How am I going to do this online? Can I do this online? Will it even work? Because obviously people's attention spans are not very long at all. We live in such a saturated online world already. And as we went into the first lockdown, people were spending so much time online, Zoom calls. We quickly became zoomed out. People wanted a break from that. That was all we knew, but it had to be very engaging. So that was, something that concerned me. It was a challenge. But that summer, there was a call out from the Free Space Project and Camden Healthcare Centre. Slide 10, audio description, Free Space Project, 5 images of a digital online version of Life on the Spectrum. So they had a commission for existing work to be translated online into a digital art exhibition. The space online replicated their exhibition space. So I'd never even been to Kentish Town Healthcare Centre before, so I had no idea what this even looked like in the real world. And this opportunity was actually incredible because I got to work directly with a digital artist who was able to translate all of my work from the physical world to an online exhibition. And I was just blown away because I was like, wow, there are just so many opportunities to show my work online, but in a really cool and engaging way. It was really tricky at first because I'd known this exhibition in the physical world. So I was trying to directly translate my experiences of the physical exhibition to the online world. So I was trying to do it sort of as a direct translation, which doesn't really work because the online space is very different in its nature. I had in my head as well, like setup day, all this preparation of paintings and work and getting it all ready and having it transported to an exhibition space. That didn't matter with the online world. We had about, I think it was up to a month, we had to actually prepare all of this, and it could be done so flexibly and so easily through Zoom meetings and just documents explaining exactly what I wanted and sending over the files and any descriptions that I needed. It was a lot simpler, a lot less stressful. And it was just really nice to collaborate with somebody else with skills that I don't have, and to learn from them as well. And I felt like it was such an opportunity. So it really spurred me on to then apply for Develop Your Creative Practice funding to then work with the digital artist to create prototypes of what my work could look like if it was translated into a digital space in the future. For this space, it was great, but it was very much made for this project. But then I thought, well, what could my work look like with my messaging in the online space? Slide 11, audio description, collaborating with a digital artist to create an accessible and engaging online space. 3 images showing a futuristic looking prototype of an online exhibition of my work. So I'm still working on this project actually. There's been one prototype created. I thought it would be several prototypes, but actually we went with one and then we just kept building on that one because there were so many different ideas that came about and different changes that were sort of needed, or I think that was just how the creative process went. But there was a lot of work done around researching accessibility in the online world. So what is needed for someone who is neurodiverse, someone who's dyslexic, someone who's autistic, what's best for these audiences in terms of accessibility. Also, age came into it, people's capability in terms of using the different keys, being able to navigate around the space. So those were all things that we both started to research and look at. And there wasn't any sort of profound or compounding evidence to strongly suggest any one approach over another. What came about through the research was that actually people like to have the choice. So when designing this online space, we made sure that you could select your font size, your font, the background color, your music, even how you would go around the exhibition space. So for those that are quite comfortable using the sort of gaming keys as such, or using a mouse to navigate around the space, there was that option. But then there was also an option which gave a predefined route where someone could, I guess, literally click start, and the exhibition would be effectively a tour going from one painting to another. You'd have a chance to stop off at each painting, so you would be able to find out more about the actual painting. So you'd be able to read a bit about the context. There might be external links to further information. There'll be videos. There was also a sketchbook as well, so you could then see the process. And it was really exciting, like, thinking of all these different things, because it was very much about marrying up both what I know about the physical world and exhibiting there, but also marrying it up with what works well already online and not reinventing the wheel. So for example, taking aspects from social media. We all know how that works. So actually having scroll down menus and being able to leave comments, and really utilizing what already works online with what could then be implemented into an online art exhibition. So that's been really cool, actually. And I'm still working on this. I'm developing another prototype. So my hope is that I can use these prototypes and show them to potential gallerists or art centres and be like, this is what I want to do with my next collection of work. This is what I see it looking like. I can imagine future work being both online but also in the physical world, using more technology as well in the future, so people having VR sets as they walk around the space, and then being able to access more information, people having the choice to then go home and access the online exhibition as well as just having seen the physical one. People who can't go to galleries and have barriers to getting to them, or that could be anything from disability to social anxiety to location, anything really. So just giving people the choice to be able to do things online, because it is a real it's a real game changer. It enables a lot of people to do a lot of things, and I think we need to be thinking more around that and making it as accessible as possible. So that's my hope with future art that I create. I'm now going to play you the walkthrough video of the prototype exhibition. This walks you through the space as you click into it, and it shows you the different features available. And those different features are what I've spoken about already. So being able to choose the size of the font, for instance. So when I first worked with the Free Space project and did the work with them, the digital exhibition felt like a really new space. It felt almost quite progressive in a way, like no one else was really doing that in the art world, I'd say. Some galleries had tried to make online work and engage with people and have talks, but they didn't feel like there was a lot going on at that point. So we're a year later down the line now, and I feel like it has become normalized in a way. We're very much used to now going back out to galleries, or we're starting to at least, but we're also used to consuming content online, whether that's art or a talk or otherwise. And I imagine going forward, it's going to be a mix of this. So it will be really interesting to see what will happen. I think that's ultimately going to be driven by the public and what they like, how accessible they find the online world, and or if there is simply just a preference for seeing art in the physical world. So I think we're in a really exciting time, like seeing how it will pan out. But I think there's just real opportunity, and I just want to be able to make the best of that, and kind of go with the flow of that, whatever that looks like. And as long as I'm pursuing my art practice, then I'm happy to be open to the different types of ways in which my art can be shown. So I guess, yeah, let's see how we all get on. And but that's been my journey over the last year and a half of using the digital world and having to adapt to that. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I hope you found it interesting.